So in the meantime, so how's everything in Barcelona? So how the weather look like?
No, right here in Barcelona, wow, it's sunny. Everybody's on the beach right now, having good time. Later in the downtown, in um a medieval, no, the medieval. I don't know if it is well said in the medieval part of the city.
Mhm.
Imagine everybody is drinking something, eating something, having fun, and with family, for business, no? It doesn't matter. The wonderful thing in Barcelona that you have culture, you have a sport, you have business, you have everything you need, no? Yeah. When you are traveling around the globe.
Right. Yeah.
For example,
So, so you have some good wines, tapas.
oh, so of course, my friend. The good life, the good living, just like the ancient Romans. Yeah, the majority part of Spain, all Spain, not only Catalonia, the explosion, the many things that currently we have it
Mhm.
about the good life, the good food, the good wines, and everything we have, born with the Roman Empire. Yeah, it is several centuries before about this because with the commerce, yeah, but the explosion, we know that, and later in the Middle Age is everything we have in as engineering or um, castles, all roads. It's wonderful. It's
Right.
not for everything you need.
Yeah. That
My suggestion in your life, you need to come here at least one day in your life.
yeah. Yeah, that is great. So I have some other people joining. So it's 12 o'clock. So like a great project manager. So we're gonna start on the hour. So I have Lucy Ellis. I think you are from New Jersey, Lucy. That's true?
Yes, yes, I'm here. I am, yes.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to have you
Can
here.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. And what about
All
you?
right, thank you.
Yeah. So I have families in Hackensack, New Jersey, but I'm located in Orlando, Florida, the happiest place in the planet. So we have Raymond. Raymond, where are you joining from?
Southern California.
From California, beautiful California. So are you gonna be at the PMI Global Summit in LA?
Oh, when is that?
No, that gonna be in September 18, I think. Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm planning to be there. So if you go, so we're
well,
gonna have,
thank you for letting me know. I wasn't, yeah, I will see my schedule, and if I can attend, I definitely will.
yeah. So I anticipate gonna be a good one. It's in LA, so probably we're gonna have a lot of celebrity attending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Bruce. Bruce is joining from Indiana. And Tyler, where are you joining from?
From Wichita, Kansas.
From Kansas. Yeah, I used to live in Arkansas when I
Oh, okay.
when I worked for Walmart. Okay, so let's get started. So the webinar, we title these webinars are Unlock PMO Excellence, Mastering Auditing for Superior Project Outcomes. So that's the topic we're gonna talk about PMO auditing today. So let me move forward. So feel free to ask any questions as we move. So ChatGPT gave me this beautiful image. based on the prompts that I gave to ChatGPT, and that's I create. For some reason, maybe you know, and you can tell me later. So sometimes when you put the letters, ChatGPT protects, I think, so you can see it's not complete sentence or phrase. You always cut something. But I put right, unlock PMO excellent mastering auditing for superior project outcomes, but you see it's a little cut, but I like the image.
Awesome.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Tony Prensa. I am the founders and CEO of TP Global Business Consulting. So we are, I would say, committed to the PMO specifically, but I also do project management services. But we focus a lot on education, training, workshop, certification. So I've been around in the industry for 40 plus years. I am not that old. I started young. Some people say, well, 40. I had exactly 43 years. I started my career nonstop. So I started, never, thanks God, never was laid off. So that was 43 years straight. I started my consulting company in like 2 years. I work for several organizations around the countries, also in Puerto Rico. So you notice my accents from Puerto Rico, from the Caribbean. But I've been here in the mainland for many years, working in banking, retail, telecommunication, as a consultant. So I have done a little bit of everything. So my background is in IT, but my doctoral studies was in organizational leadership. So I like to talk a lot about change management and also power skills. So I have with me Mr. Leonardo Reyes, founder of PMO Officers, PMO Academy, and PMO Ecosystems. He's from Barcelona, Spain. So can you tell people a little bit about you, Leonardo?
Yeah, thank you very much, Tony, for having me, for sharing with your amazing audience. Greetings from Barcelona, Spain. Yeah, I'm original from Mexico City, but after travel around the globe, I decided to stay in Spain, and at the end, based in Spain. I was working from project management and PMOs from the past century. I'm looking a senior. Okay. But I started very young. Yeah, why I was
my PMO workshop.
sorry.
Sorry? So somebody is talking? Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay, Maya. Okay, dokie.
Mm.
Well, so, yeah, I started my journey in project management PMO from the past century in Mexico City, and I was in airlines and insurance, and in Spain in banking, retail, and many others. But I realized the majority of all organizations globally putting focus only in project management. It's wonderful. Yeah, we love it. I'm PMP. With many other training and certifications in predictive and adaptive as well, Scrum, Kanban, etc. But I realized that we need to improve and moving forward in the next level. So I realized that about PMO, in my case, in Spain and Europe, and Latin America as well, we needed to improve about this. So that's why I founded 8 years ago, more or less, PMO Global Community, people, professionals like you, with we discovered we need to exchange all experiences, problems, and many other topics related with PMOs, more than project management. And after that, I founded PMO Academy for sharing this PMO training. More practical than theoretical, sorry. That's why we call it workshops instead courses, okay? Because we try to put in practice everything we learn by one hand, and by the other hand, every year we are updated everything we have it, because nowadays, more than ever, all the organizations, all the society is running faster than ever. That's why we included some things like blockchain, EA, data analytics, etc. as technology within our products and services. So in our PMO training, I don't know if other organizations share something like this, but we deliver a diploma signed digital, obviously signed in the blockchains with an NFT, for example. I don't know if somebody else do something like this. And in PMO consulting services, we have created a method that we cover as well with a diploma for companies and NFT for companies. So at the end, we believe we need to improve this. This part of these workshops where we are trying. Tony, in this case, conducted a specific PMO audit that is completely different about project management audit. Are working together, but at the same time are completely different. So this is the main focus for this session. Thank you very much. Sorry for expanding a little. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
Okay, so we have an agenda, and we're gonna cover these topics. So hopefully we're gonna complete everything before the hour 1 p.m. So we're gonna have an introduction, so a little bit of information why PMO auditings are important in organization, key components, some of the benefits. Leonardo, he's gonna talk to us about some of the experience with one and other clients that we help out with auditing. And also, so we're going to introduce the certification workshop that we have, so you can become a certified PMO auditor. And then the questions. So I always think about some perspectives that we need to take into consideration when I'm going to discuss any topic. So I thought about instead of BUCA, so now we call it like FUCA. FUCA stands for fragile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. So everything is more complex than used to be. But one of the things that that's my thinking, globalization brought a lot of benefit for the humanity, but at the same time, everything has pros and cons. So this world that we are living, so I was discussing with Leonardo about things that are happening. When something happens in Israel, impact the entire world. When something happens in, let's say, in China, also has a lot of impacts in everything that we do here. I said, people, we live in an ecosystem, so everything is comprised of systems. So something happens in one system that will impact also our system. So we are connected, because of technology, because of transportation, that we can go from one place to the other very fast. So in that way is that we are working. So, and PMO is an important part of this kind of organization that we support. And that's the idea. So PMO, they should be, and that's our aspiration with all the PMO tokens that we do, and a lot of other organizations that also disseminate the knowledge about PMO. So PMO are here to support the organization in the current world that we live in. So it's a simple definitions of what the PMO should be. There's a lot of definitions of PMO out there. There are too many organizations now that the project management institute now with the merge with PMO Global Alliance. And so everything that PMO Global Alliance have done for more than 10 years. So now PMI gonna embrace all of that. There are other organizations in Switzerland and other organizations that founded in Singapore, the PMO GI. And so forth. So I can spend a lot of time talking about the many organizations that encourage and support the concepts of PMO for organization as a catalyst for organization. So our topic for today is about audits in PMO. So everybody is familiar with audit, and you have experience or maybe if you are not directly involved in audits. So you know, in your organization, they conduct audits. And audits is the process of verifying that everything is working according to the standards, according to the regulation, according to the law policies. So that's basically the what the word audit means. So I was thinking, so a lot of people confuse these two processes, PMO assessment and PMO auditing. So we are talking about PMO auditing today, not PMO assessment. So I wanted to just to provide a little bit of information about both of them. So the PMO assessment, the purpose is to evaluate. It focuses on evaluating the maturity, the capabilities, and the overall effectiveness of the PMO. With the purpose of providing improvement, the primary goal of an assessment, PMO assessment, is to identify areas for improvement. The scope is broad review, so we don't go into detail to find what are the deficiencies or the gaps. So we're trying to cover a lot of things in the assessment. It's like when you go to a doctor for an annual checkup. So it's an overall assessment. But if you need to focus on something, let's say in your heart, so they will send you to a cardiologist. So so the maturity level, so we focus on where are we in the levels of maturity in the organization. The approach in a PMO assessment is more diagnostic, more consultative, and the outcomes is more to deliver an action plan and also to see the alignment with the strategies, objectives of the organization. While PMO auditing, the purpose is compliance, verification, is basically to ensure that everything is accurate, everything is integral, and also the adherence to the processes, procedures, and internal controls. So the scope, the focus is review. It's like we have an amplifier looking for the minor things that may jeopardize the health of the PMO. So it's to ensure compliance, it's more systematic objectives, and the outcome is the audit reports and the corrective actions. So in summaries, PMO assessment, broad evaluation of PMO maturity and effectiveness, diagnostic and consultative approach, and focus on improvement and strategic alignment. That's the assessment. Why PMO auditing is the detailed verification compliant with standards and regulations, systematic and objective approach, and focus on accuracy, integrity, and adherence to procedure standards. Per PMO officers, based on the experience working with different organizations in Europe, Latin America, and US, so we come up with 23 type of auditing. So we don't gonna go into the detail. That will be part of the certification workshop. But we're gonna cover each one and how this type of auditing apply to the particular context that you are working on. So you can see there For example, pharmaceutical, may ask why pharmaceutical is a type of auditing. But if you work in a pharmaceutical, so you need to be familiar, and the PMO should be responsible and accountable for those kind of auditing. So in construction, preventive safety, for example, if you work for the governments and you are responsible for a electoral process, so there's some kind of auditings, and most of the country they had that they audits the election process and so forth. So you can see communication, financial, administrative, energetic, operational, environmental, social, innovation, IT. So there's many types of auditings. So in the workshop, we cover all of them in a very detail. So we have exercises and projects that you were to familiarize for each type of auditing. So this workshop apply to any professional working in any industry. So for that, we cover all of those things. So the importance of the PMO auditing. So I'm gonna read these paragraphs and that explain exactly what I was thinking about the importance of PMO auditing. So it's a systematic examination of your PMO's processes, practices, governance, performance. But it's not just about compliance, it's about ensuring that your PMO adds strategic value to your organization. And that's a key word. Always values, that's how we look, outcomes. That's how the PMO should focus in order to show the value to the organization that you work for. But why is auditing, PMO auditing important? So I listed different things like 10 points, so I'm gonna go over all of them. So I will be sharing the recording, and also if some of you want the copy of the presentations, I can share that with you too. So you post in the chats this, yes, I want it, so I send it to you by email. So different topics: ensures compliance and accountabilities, identify gaps and efficiencies, enhance project management practices and efficiency, promotes continuous improvement, aligns the PMO with organizational goals or strategic objectives, provides data-driven insights. Everything today is about the data decision making. So PMO auditing will help you in that realm. Mitigate risks and also support the strategic decision making. Also, the one that is no less important is the validates PMO effectiveness. Some of the components that we consider are important for effective PMO audits are these 4 stages, if you want to call it this way, or phases. So we need to plan. In everything that we do, we need to plan. As a good project managers that we are, so we need to plan. We need to define the objectives. We need to have a goal for this process, because it requires resources and investment of time. So we need to define the scope. What are the success criteria? You need to define that in the planning stage. And also, do we have the resources that we need to conduct the audit? So that's something. So moving to the next one is the execution. Now that we have everything set and we are ready to go, so we need to start collecting data. We need to do some field work. And we're going to use our tool, the PMO Audit Check tool that we have and we develop, so process all of data and develop all the reports and the findings and analyze that, so we can develop the executive report with all the findings and the recommendations out of that exercise. In the next phase, the follow-ups is when we're going to have an action plan, like you see in all the auditing process. So there always an action plan. So we need to continue monitoring that thing has been completed. We need to reevaluate. We need to do it again. So this is the 4 stages of PMO audit process. So Leonardo, you want to talk about the PMO audit classifications? And if anyone has some question, please don't hesitate to let us know and we cover. So Leonardo, can you cover that one? You are muted, Leonardo.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. I want to connect with the previous slide when we are discussing on the 23 several types of audits. Types of audits. Because yeah, exactly. Because this is related, because it doesn't matter what kind of sector, private, public, or third sector, ONGs. We need to discover before what kind of others audits is involved with the global portfolio. Yeah, because it's very important to cover the first stage, this one, yeah, because depending it doesn't matter the industry or the middle size organizations or large companies, it doesn't matter. So this is the first stage, because depending of each organization, we need to cover, or we need to keep on the desk several audit types, realized or designed or developed for another companies, external companies, external organizations, or third parties. So with this information, and later, Tony, the other slide, we need, first of all, to discover all the types of audits involving the global portfolio, for later in the second stage, putting in which kind of classification we need to put it, okay? Because it's in a tailored PMO audit. So that's why from the top, we are discovered, first of all, which sector, just for example, public, type of audits, for example, electoral, for example, and according to the scope, it could be territorial, could be by a state from USA, for example, or could be for entire country, or maybe in Europe. In the same example, we in my town, I live in outside Barcelona city, in a small town, maybe in Barcelona city complete, maybe in Catalonia is very similar as a state in USA, later in Spain, but we are part of the Europe. So in the next step will be all Europe community, no? So that's why is to check which is according to this kind of a scope, obviously according what kind of objectives we need to follow. We said that we discovered before area, sector, public, area, local, state, blah, 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 blah. Temporary, obviously, when we have elections, is in a period, a very short period of time, for example, and the specialization, obviously, is we are talking about elections, no? Political. I know this example is not the best, but I wanted to put it in both, no? Just for example, with USA, because I think more of the people right here in the session is from USA, but if you put it in my shoes in Europe, for people is outside the Europe or outside the USA, you can follow me what I'm trying to share to explain. So this is my point of view. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Any questions? Sorry.
Any questions about that? So everything that we have covered so far? So Raymond, Bruce, Emma, Pauline, Lucy, any question? Any contribution to the discussion based on your experiences. I see a lot of people with experience in the PMO space.
Sorry, Tony, I will ask our audience
Mhm.
who have conducted a PMO audit in his organization. Who have made something like this, please?
Or an assessment.
Anyone?
Or an assessment.
Or an assessment? Hey, Bruce, awesome. You have been audit, not conducted. Okay.
Yeah.
I've done an audit.
You have done
Really?
audit? Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Yeah, Lucy, she's an expert in the industry.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I have done an audit, a pretty large one, but very detailed. As you said, in my case, it focused on a specific area. It was very focused on a specific practice area within what the PMO was responsible for overseeing. So I do really relate to the presentation. I can see the difference between audit and assessment. It makes sense to me as to what I did at work.
Okay. In what sector you usually work? What is the industry?
Government.
Government. Wow, interesting. So that's Leonardo was discussing because government politics in Europe and Latin America is something like is the life for the people. Like every day is about that. So, but I think that in US also it's not just Europe and Latin America, also here. So politics is something that
Lucy,
we take today day.
Lucy, one question. Are you applying or are you implementing blockchain in these audits?
No, I have not done that. This was focused on practice and what the end users were doing and how it was either in compliance or non-compliance with the PMO policies and practices.
Oh.
Are you coming from USA? You have an UK accent.
Yeah. I'm in USA. I'm in New Jersey.
Okie dokie, understand. You have a very nice. It's quite similar from UK. Yeah. Sorry for that. Yes.
Thank you. No, I am originally from the Czech Republic, actually. So my roots are from Europe, but now I have been here for a very long time. It will be 21 years in July. So, but my accent is still present. Yes.
Understood. That's why. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah. Because in UK is people from all the globe. This mix of accent. You remember me about that. Thank you very much for sharing. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else have experience with assessment or auditing that you want to share?
Bruce in the chat is I've been audit. What is your experience, Bruce, about this process?
It depends which time, but I'll tell you my thoughts were it was internal audit. Well, usually it was internal audit. I also had external audits, but I welcomed the opportunity. It's like, come on here and let me show you what it is we do, because if there's a way to do it better, I want to know about it. And I think that most people, even with internal organizations, were kind of building up a wall saying, oh no, don't share stuff. They'll figure something out and you'll have to do something. There'll be changes. Well, I took the other approach and I unloaded on them. I showed them everything it is that we do. Here's our controls. Here's our process. Here's the issues that we're experiencing and why it is that we haven't fixed these things. And what do you think? How can we do this better? And they even when they were auditing us because of an issue that had been reported, they always came back and were very pleased with the process. And some things are you're going to have escape defects kind of thing, and rarely they come back and say you need to be doing something different. But I was on board with, please tell me how to do something different. If I should be getting more money in a budget somewhere, let me know so I can build the case.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Yeah, so let me move to the next slides and we continue the conversation here. So a lot of people are familiar with project audit or project auditing. So what we are discussing is more about the PMO auditing. So sometimes when I delivering some a PMO workshop, So I said, people, projects are retail, while PMO is wholesale. So it's a different thing. It's a different mindset. So we're talking about the department. So when you focus on a project audit, it's basically to determine the effectiveness, the efficiency, and compliance with established project objectives for that particular project. So now we're looking, it's like in the supermarket. So we are looking at all the items in the store when we talk about PMO auditing. But some of the benefits, so we already talked about governance, is to assess the effectiveness of the governance structures and decision-making processes. When we review the processes, to evaluate the efficiency and effectiveness of the processes and methodologies that we implemented for the organization. It's about checking also the KPIs. Are the KPI relevant still? And we focus on that in the PMO auditing. It's about also the relationships and the connections of the levels of relationship and connection that the PMO has with the stakeholder, and how engaged are they with this organization. And so I already mentioned some of the benefits that you will get from the PMO audit. So I'm gonna focus on the last one, foster that cultural accountability and excellence. So that's one of the benefits of the PMO auditing. Some of the critical areas and metrics to evaluate. So I already mentioned about the governance, processes, performance metrics, and the stakeholders engagement. And now I have Leonardo to talk a little bit about the tool that PMO officers developed to do the PMO auditing.
Yeah, I remember listening Bruce, Tony, this with our last customer in PMO Consulting Services, they asked us something like this. Hey, it's in construction project management engineering in Mexico. It's a huge company doing wonderful things. So they ask us, oh yeah, sorry, hey, but we have several internal, we have several leads in very different topics, no? Including project management, but project management just the first slide, no? The first slide, not deeply, not checking everything, all the project management process. No, not at all. They wanted to implement a PMO or a global project management office, no? In this case, we call it PMO. So when we discuss about the PMO audit, they said, first of all, well, how can you help us for money, for improving everything we do, blah, 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 blah. So when we started the phase, no, and starting to discover everything they have, they already conduct several audits, internal and external, because you know the compliance, the laws to accomplish the laws for building, for security and safety of people is working on, you know, in out there in the constructions, etc., etc. We realize during this first of all the workshop and later the phase that they have missed many important things, many important we discovered with the tool. Just for example, I don't know if is anybody here from construction, project management, engineering, or minery, or very similar industry right here in the audience? Is anybody?
Yeah. Anyone from construction?
No.
What industry do you represent? Lucy, she's in government. So Raymond, what industry do you represent?
Healthcare.
Healthcare. That's a nice sector. And Bruce, you are in what industry?
Software development. Okay, web audit webs, audit, IT audit. Yeah. Okay, dokie. Raymond?
Yes.
Yeah, Raymond
Yeah.
is in healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yes.
Wow. Healthcare, with so many regulations, you have to put more focus than ever, no?
Yeah. Healthcare and hospital.
Oh, that's important.
Wow.
And he's in telecom, I think.
Well, telecom, they are not so exhaustive, but it's quite important, but not so exhaustive as
Regulated.
Raymond. Yeah,
Yeah.
or Lucy. Yeah.
Mm.
Matt? Hey, Matt. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it well.
Yes, Leonardo. I am from food industry.
Oh, so the food, that's where it was regulated to.
Food industry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Which country? Matt, which country?
Egypt.
Wow, Egypt. I remember. Do you know Griffles? No, you know that the German in Egypt they have a merge or a huge business with Griffles from Spain. They have they are building I don't know 10 data centers for plasma business. Oh, wow, amazing! In all your country, yeah. Awesome. By the way, well, in this case, for example, is I think it's wonderful case because when you do a PMO audit, you realize you need to have several things, a lot of things to cover, because you not only is the Egypt regulations, the laws, all the materials, all the not only, for example, software development, because we need to translate in Arabian, okay, for example. It's not in telecoms, because in Egypt now are building from 3G. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but now you are developing the 3G for telecoms around the globe. So when you are developing a data center for telecommunication, forward, everything you need is very complex, because you not yet have all these facilities, all this industry together ready at the same time. So when you are conducting a PMO audit, you have to put everything on the desk, everything you have on the radar. Because another example, if you need to buy some material, ¿cómo se dice insumos, Tony?
Raw material.
Raw material, yeah.
Raw material.
Sorry for well, you need to equipment, medical equipment, yeah, because when you are talking about plasma, you're talking about blood. You need to buy a specific under regulation, very strict and very specific. But if you need to buy this specific equipment in countries that there is some political problems, you know what I mean, you cannot buy in these countries. So where do you need to buy? Well, I don't want to extend more time about this, but my point is, you need, when you are conducted a PMO audit, you need to cover everything about this. And in a PMO, not always cover everything. And when you are in the implementation of those global portfolio, suddenly you discover a lot of risks that is very complex to fix, because the risk you have it right in the corner, and this is becoming in a problem. And when you have a risk, you can manage, but when you have a problem, you lost a lot of money replying or answering the question from Bruce, no? When, hey, what about money, no? In this case. So thank you, Emmett, for sharing. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. So basically, during the workshop, so something that I take away from the workshop in the PMO auditing certification workshop that we're gonna have at the end of May. So you will take away the tools. So it's not just theories and information that you can take it. So you will have these tools and you will know how to use the tool to conduct your auditing. So and this is so a lot of the clients like believe this organization was a finalist of the PMO Hispanic American Awards. So you know about the PMO Global Alliance that it was known for conducting those PMO annual awards. And now PMI combined. So PMI used to have their own awards for PMO. So everything now is combined. So PMI doesn't have anything. So they left PMO Global Alliance to continue with that. So a lot of companies, they reach out to us to help them to prepare to compete in those global awards. So Belief is one of them. So you can mention others that ask PMO officers to help them to prepare for these awards. So we just want to mention that some organization ask us to conduct the audits and so they can be prepared and participate so these important awards. Okay, so the next, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about the workshop, the certification. So it won't take a lot of time. So this is a practical workshops. It's visual, but if someone want to have the workshop on site, so we can arrange to do that. It takes 12 hours, so we're gonna do it in the evening. And the workshop and the course include, as I mentioned, the tool. So you're gonna be knowing about the tool. So it has also simulation SEM, so you can practice the question for the SEM. If you pass the SEM, so you're gonna have this beautiful badge that is protected in blockchains and also a certificate if you pass the SEM. But we guarantee if you participate so the workshop, so you're gonna have all the information to pass the SEM the first try. So for all of you that attended this workshop and the one that are gonna be listening, because I'm gonna share the audios with people. So we have a 24-hour deal, so it's a 50% off of the cost. So in US dollars, it's around $780. So with the codes, the coupons code, so we are discounting 50% of the cost. So why are we doing that? So we want a lot of people to have the knowledge and the certification so they can enhance the organization. So and also this is the only certification that you will find in the market about PMO audit. So if you are interested in participate or do you need more information, please put a yes in the inbox and the chat. So I will reach out to you. If you want to have a copy of these presentations, say yes in the chat, so I will send it by email to you. So with that being said, I open to questions. So any question that you may have, that I'm gonna stop sharing. So Leonardo and I, we are very active in LinkedIn. If you can connect with us, if you are not yet, so we can continue the conversation there and ask, respond to any question that you may have. So we are open if you wanna share the camera with us so we can see your faces and we have a brief discussions about it.
Don't be shy, please. Feel free. Yeah,
Right.
the mic is, yeah. Well,
So any questions about
would-
what you saw? So it's something that you may be interested in to understand more about the PMO auditing processes.
This is Raymond. Who's the executive that's in an organization that would support the PMO audit? Who's usually the main executive?
no entendí.
Yeah, I didn't get it, Raymond. Can you say that again?
Who's the main executive who would sponsor PMO audit?
So you're talking about the organization that support the certification or the process?
The process of an audit.
Yeah, so these processes that you will see in the workshop came from the experience of PMO officers. So we have a service that we call the PMO experience. So working with different clients, different regions, is that we came up with this framework, if you will. And also we developed a tool working for different clients. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah. Raymond, for example, in our last customer that almost they win the as the best PMO of Latin America, Hispano America. They won from Mexico, only from Mexico. It's not so easy, but they almost won the best of all the Hispano America. The sponsor of this PMO audit was the CEO. El CEO, no? CIO was the sponsor. Lucy, putting in the chat, a very good point.
Yeah.
It's a C-level. Always the sponsor of a PMO audit is a C-level.
Yeah, no, it was a C-level, and I feel it needs to be a C-level because it needs to be backed up and made feel. It needs to, the other people who are doing it or are involved in it, they need to feel it has the type of senior backing. So it was very helpful in my case.
Yeah. But I would say that if you are in a leadership in a PMO, you should do it because that's the way that also it's about transparency. And that's the way that you're gonna show the C-levels, the C-suite, the value that you are adding. So it's something that a lot of people, when they hear about audits, they are scared, and nobody is. So when I used to work for bankings, every time that we have an audit, is something that everybody was afraid what's gonna happen. But you shouldn't be afraid. So everything should be transparent. And so the PMO should look for the support. So we need to do that in a regular basis. We recommend like every year you conduct the audit and you show the value. So that will gonna be beneficial for the organization that you work for.
Yeah, I think just according with the Tony is sharing, there is two type or two kind of value adding for any PMO, any organizations. when you provide value that you can show, you can explain, no, you can touch, and the other that is not the perception, you cannot put in paper this perception. These two types of value. The first one is when you are showing data analytics, you can provide the KPIs, OKRs, whatever. And by the other hand is when people is working better because everyone is aligned with some main target. So when we conducted a PMO audit, we are trying, obviously, we are trying to put everyone in the same main goal. Yes, everybody is talking about the main goal is aligning with the strategic, global strategy of the company, of the organization. Yeah, everybody knows that, but it's very, very complex because many of these times, the global strategy of the company never top down to the rest of the people, never knows. You're asking the people, the project managers, portfolio, whatever. You're asking, hey, do you know which is the strategy of the organization? You know, no idea. No idea. So the PMO, as a team, no, we call it the head PMO, director PMO, whatever. We call it PMO officer, no, in only a single word, you know. So the PMO officer and the PMO sponsor are the key roles in the global office that need to cover this of information between C-level or top management with the rest of the tactical roles, project managers, portfolio managers, program managers, business analysts, scrum masters, product owners, product managers, blah, 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 everyone. So this is the key. So when we are conducted a PMO audit, we're trying to put everything in only basket. This is the first. When the sponsor, we only ask them, hey, it's not good or it's bad, everything you are doing. No, we only ask them, what are you doing and how are you doing? That's it. And when you when we mix all this information, all the source information they provide us, we put it in our method, PMO experience, and then we give them all the feedback, no? Top level feedback and tactical feedback. You say, hey, we discover you have many wonderful things, but we can help. We recommend, we suggest putting focus in 1, 2, 3 bullets. And we explain why, no? Because it's not only to say you need this without a roadmap of answers or helping, no?
Right.
This is our main focus for that.
Yeah, so another thing that I suggest is that you have an external party to conduct the auditing, because if you do it yourself within your organization, it doesn't have the same impact when you have someone external that come to your organization and conduct the audits and provide you some recommendation for improvement. So management, we appreciate that more than if you do it yourself. Well, thank you very much for your time, for your lunch time, and sharing with us, understanding a little bit about what we do in the space of the PMO auditing. So anything that you may need from us, don't hesitate to reach out to us, send us a text message in LinkedIn, or also an email. So I appreciate all of you for being here and sharing your knowledge and experience with us. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Thank you, Leo. It's late there in Spain. So I see that some other people from other places that join. Thank you very much. I will be sharing this video with the audience, and so other people benefit from this session. Thank you, and have a great rest of the day, or the night for you.
Thank you very much for attending. All the best in your PMO leadership now and in the future. Greetings from Barcelona. Until next time. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Take care.